Uno, dos, one, two, tres, cuatro.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. This is Francisco Servent. I am your host of the Rethink Your Legacy radio show. Welcome. I'm an estate planning attorney in Chandler, Arizona, and at Keystone Law Firm, where us attorneys practice on our clients every day until we get it right. Just so weird that they call it a practice. It's like, I think after doing it 1,000 times, I know how to do it anymore. Whatever. Welcome to the show, everybody. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I'm glad you're here. You want to stick around today because something for the first time in the, I guess you could say in the world, but in the country and specifically here in Arizona, LegalZoom has taken this massive step that I think lawyers are going to feel really challenged by and maybe threatened, maybe worried. I want to expose this and bring it out to light. I'm not worried about it. It's something very interesting. So you're going to want to stick around the show today because I'm going to share with you the ins and outs of what LegalZoom has done. You all have heard of LegalZoom. And in my law firm, we do a number of things, right? Estate planning, which includes the wills and the trusts and all of those things. We do the probate, we do asset protection. So we do all these kinds of things. Some of this stuff, right? Other colleagues of mine, they say like LegalZoom is their biggest competitor, right? Because you can get online and do your will or your trust on LegalZoom. And I'm not really sure it's a competitor of mine. I think that what you get when you go to LegalZoom is it's a do-it-yourself thing that you have to figure out how to do it yourself, etc. And that's kind of the difference between going to Home Depot and building your shed versus having somebody build the shed for you. You know, I mean, it's different. So anyway, LegalZoom has done something drastically different than they've ever done before. And so I want to cover that today. If you know you need help with something and you don't want to do it yourself, you want to figure it out all on your own, you want somebody's guidance, then that's what we do. Call our firm or jot this number down, 480-750-7788. That's our firm's number, special for you guys here on the radio show. And you can also go to our website, radio.keystonelawfirm.com. And I'm going to be giving away my lawyer's secret guidebook to estate planning. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. But if you want to go get that right now, it's at radio.keystonelawfirm.com. During the pandemic, it seems to have been so many things changed in all of our lives, right? I mean, everything was just turned upside down and inside out, and a lot of people lost loved ones. People couldn't go visit their family members in the hospital and nursing homes. I mean, just a million things changed. Couldn't go to work. You lost jobs. A million things changed, right? And they're still changing. Well, in my world, you guys are insulated from this for the most part. But in my world, the court system, they've been changing the rules and passing new rule changes at what seems to be light speed, like faster than ever. And one of the rules that actually came down it was started discussion a couple years ago, went into committee last year. They actually passed it, and it was effective the first of this year. Is a law that says law firms can now be owned by anyone. You don't have to be a lawyer to own a law firm. That's a drastic difference than the history forever of law firms in Arizona is they always had to be owned by someone who is licensed, a lawyer. Well, as of January 1st this year, you don't have to be a lawyer to own a law firm. So every single one of you listening to this call, you could go start a law firm. You have to hire a lawyer, obviously, to be the lawyer, but you could own the law firm. And, you know, lots of uproar in my industry about this, lots of discussion about, oh my gosh, it's going to be terrible. We're going to get all these, big venture capital firms that just come in and destroy the practice of law, blah, 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 blah. My feeling from the very beginning is that it makes no sense that lawyers own law firms. I know for myself, when I started my law firm, I don't know, it was 15 years ago or 14, 15 years ago, I started it because I wanted to own my own business, and I could not stand how other lawyers ran law firms. It just seemed to not make sense at all. They just didn't know how to make things efficient. They were always making it intentionally slower so they could have more billable hours. I mean, things drove me nuts. So I always thought we need some legit business people to come into our industry and make the businesses better. And I struggled for a long time trying to get my law firm to run like a business. And finally in 2014, 15, I realized, sort of woke up to the idea that I could go hire somebody who was a business expert, right? And actually bring them under my law firm. And somebody who has run businesses and law firms before and has done it, so many times that they make it look like child's play. That is what has let me learn how to operate this firm, Keystone Law Firm, as a business so that it does all the good things businesses are supposed to do. And doesn't, drive me insane as the owner. Most lawyers haven't figured that out, though. That's where all these, and the majority of law firms are run only by the lawyer who's never been trained on anything. And in fact, today, I'm starting a 20 parts lawyer training program, 20 different parts for lawyers to come learn how to run their firm like a business. So what happened January 1st of this year? Our state said non-lawyers can own law firms. So guess who went and got permission to form a law firm? LegalZoom. Yes, LegalZoom. They did. They were approved, and now they can own a true, legit lawyer, complete with lawyers and all, law firm. Right? They've got this online thing, right? You go and jump online, fill in the forms. I just met with a couple this week who did all of that, paid all that money, got the documents, and they're like, this isn't exact. I don't think this is what we really wanted. And this is a smart guy. He's an actual software developer. And his wife's a physical therapist. Like, these people are smart, right? They're not ignorant people. They got the documents. The documents did not say what they intend. And so they're like, we just don't want to figure that out. Can you please do this for us? So we're doing it for them. LegalZoom, I don't know what they're going to do with it. They haven't really disclosed what they're going to do with this law firm entity. But it's there now. And we're just going to have to wait and see. What are they going to do with it? Are they going to hire lawyers? Are they going to open little, like Walmart law firms? Like stick a lawyer in a Walmart kind of a thing? How in every tax season in Walmart, the tax company, the little booth pops up? Yeah, I do. I go to Walmart. Not much, but I see them. They're there. Like, they pop up in tax season. Are we going to get little pop-up cubicles with lawyers sitting in there to draft your will? I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think the biggest thing for me is that I hope it challenges the rest of us lawyers to step up our law firm management game. I really do. I really hope it helps us rise our quality of how we take care of our clients, challenges us to provide more efficient, better services at a better price. Competition is not scary for me. I'm excited by it. I think it can only be good for the rest of us and the rest of you, like everyone here, right? So anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is what the differences are historically between LegalZoom and a law firm, and specifically my law firm, Keystone Law Firm, and what I think the differences will be in their new business model. Because they are going to have some limitations, no question, because of the big, giant business that it is. Corporate business just has some limitations. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you want to know the differences between LegalZoom and Keystone Law Firm, that's what you want to stick around for. But I'm giving you my secret guidebook to estate planning. This is a 17-page guide that will lay out for you the stuff that my industry just doesn't want you to know about. I guess for some reason, I've given it away on the show before, and you guys seem to just gobble it up. Tons of you go get it, so I'm offering it again today. The way you get it, it's a free download. You go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com, radio.keystonelawfirm.com, and just enter your name and email. The system will ship it right out to you. That way it's stored in your email safely and won't get lost somewhere. But that will literally give you the tools to know what you need to know. It's not more complicated than what you need to know. It's what you need to know so you can make a difference for your family, all right? We'll be back after the break, and we'll pick up on the first big differences. Be back in a minute. Welcome back. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is Francisco Servent, and you're listening to Rethink Your Legacy. This is a radio show that I do out of Keystone Law Firm. We're a oops, knocking stuff over here. We're a local boutique estate planning law firm in Chandler. We help clients all over the state and clients actually anywhere in the world who have an issue here in Arizona. Anything related to your estate planning or the administration of your estate. And that can come in the form of a probate, a trust administration, helping you act as a trustee, as an executor, as a power of attorney for someone. Or, if it has to go to the need to get a guardianship for an adult. Maybe you have a special needs child who's turning 18. Maybe you have an elderly parent who you need to be guardian for. That's all what we do at Keystone Law Firm, and we've been around for a long time. So I welcome you back to the show. I would invite you to come and listen to the show every Sunday morning. I'm here 7 to 8 a.m., right? You can actually get 4 hours with a lawyer every month, and this will be the first time ever for you, maybe. You can get that 4 hours with no bill attached. So welcome back. My name is Francisco Servent. If you want today's giveaway, then I invite you to go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com. That is where you will find my secret guidebook to estate planning. This is a 17-page guide that breaks it down, nuts and bolts only, spoken in regular language, not a bunch of legalese. It's not a document intended for me to train lawyers how to do it. Those are other documents which have citations to statutes and case law and the legalese that they need to have. This is for you to be able to understand what has been confusing up until this point about your will, your trust, probate, all those things. So today I'm focusing in on the pretty big news that LegalZoom has now formed a law firm, a true blue law firm. It's not a fake law firm. It's not a illegal law firm. The law in Arizona changed at the beginning of this year to allow non-lawyers to own law firms. And so they have now formed a law firm. What they haven't done is really shared much about what they're going to do with that. They have to hire at least one lawyer to be the lawyer in charge, but it remains to be seen what they're going to do with it. You know, are they going to stick a lawyer in each Walmart? Are they going to have pop-up booths in places? Are they going to remain completely online? We don't know. I'm curious, and I'm actually excited that they've done this because I think it's going to force all law firms out there to step up their game, and it's no longer, you can just charge whatever the heck you want because you're a lawyer. No, now you've got some competition from a big company that's going to, I think they're going to try to drive prices down, and I think they're going to try to be super uber competitive. That's what they've done with their online website. And so anyway, what I want to share with you today is what I think are the major differences that they will never be able to accomplish with the way their business model is. Their business model is 100% directed at driving the price down. And so, that being the foundation, like what you will see on their website, and even in their press release about this new entity, this new law firm that they formed, is that they are trying to democratize the law, which is I'm all for that. I've used that phrase myself because that's what Southwest Airlines did, right? They democratized air travel. I thought that was a great way to say it, and I've done the same thing. That's been one of our goals, is to bring these services to everybody. And if their goal is to just drive prices to the bottom, I think they're still going to be limited in what they can offer. Historically, what they have been able to offer has left a lot of people unsatisfied. I know my own personal experience, their customers have been not satisfied, and then they come to us, and they pay a bunch of money to LegalZoom. It's still not like that cheap. It's not $1. It's not $10. You're still spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. They go do that, and then they are still not served well. So what I want to leave you with is a couple of the examples, because I think we forget that do-it-yourself still requires a lot. I mean, I drive myself nuts every time I think, oh, this is a quick little fix. I'll just run down to Home Depot and grab what I need. And, after my 6th trip back to Home Depot on a Saturday, I'm thinking, why the heck didn't I just call a freaking plumber? We forget that. I forget it. I know we all do. And so these are stories of people who forgot that and never really got what they wanted. And this one guy left a review online, 2 stars. I was not happy with LegalZoom. Not only that, but he says, I felt I was misled. Paid hundreds of dollars for a living trust. I was led to believe that was all I needed to do, and then fill out the paperwork and return it. They sent it back. I found out that actually, if I also want to put my property in my trust, it's going to now cost me more money. If you're getting a living trust, it should be everything. It's not everything except your home. It's not anything. It's not like, I'm sorry you didn't understand it. And he says, I said, yeah, it's not you didn't say that anywhere when I first read through this. And the customer service rep said, somewhere when you're filling out the form online, there's a little click here box that says if you want to do that. He said, I didn't see anything, little box like that. And he said, seriously, if there's just a little click box here, if you need to do that, they should just include it. That's the do-it-yourself model, right? I mean, if you are going to do it yourself, you have to figure this stuff out, right? You can't, I mean, I feel bad for this guy, but I also can't blame LegalZoom for his problem. He was doing it himself. Like, I can't go complain at Home Depot that I had to make 6 trips back and forth when I was trying to fix a simple plumbing problem, can I? Not really. And, that's just it. I mean, one of the things that I appreciate about LegalZoom is because they have a massive, enormous marketing budget, and most of their marketing is education-based. That I truly appreciate that, because they are spreading more awareness about issues of estate planning, probate, needing to get your affairs in order than I could ever hope to do on my own. We spend a lot of money, feels like to me, on getting the word out, but there's no way we could hope to even scratch the budget that LegalZoom spends. I mean, they're a public company. And you know what that ends up with? It ends up with people seeing their message, going, oh, wow, I do need to do something about that. Maybe they go to LegalZoom's website. I mean, we've had clients who do this. They go there, and it's immediately overwhelming and like, no, holy crap, I can't figure this out here. I just need to find a lawyer to help me do this. And then they call us. So I'm 100% I'm grateful that they are going to raise the bar. They're going to bring more education to our community, to our world through their advertising than I could ever hope to do. So the word's going to get out more. And are there going to be limitations, though, in how they can deliver services? Now that they're a law firm, I don't think it's going to change much. I think their law firm model is already been essentially what they've been doing. And let me explain why. If you go to their website, you'll see they've got all these lawyers pictures that's like, click here to get help from a lawyer. They've already had this. They just have to do it through a separate deal, right? Click there to talk to that lawyer. You're then just going to that lawyer's website and talking to that lawyer through that medium. Now there's just going to be a lawyer who's their own employee. I don't think it's going to be much different. What I know they're not going to do is they're not going to be able to provide that boutique, serious, one-on-one white glove service. Their prices are going to be, they're driving the price to the bottom. And when you do that, we all know that you get what you pay for. So let's break. I'm coming up to the break. I want to make sure that you guys go get the secret guidebook that I'm giving away on estate planning. You go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com. If you're sitting there right now listening and you're holding your phone, then just pop open a browser. Just do it real quick. Go to Chrome, go to Google, and grab this thing. It's free. Save it for later if you want. Maybe you are listening and you're like, oh man, I really should give this to my mom. I should really get my wife, my husband to listen to the show or read that thing. Go get it. You go to this website, radio.keystonelawfirm.com. There's no catch. There's no gimmicks. It's just a thing. You just fill out the form, download it. It'll go right to your email inbox, and you can share it, save it, right there. So go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com, and you'll get it sent right away to you. If you need help, though, go get the book. But if you really want some one-on-one guidance, then you want to call or text our office right now. You can do that right now. The break's coming up. It's 480-750-7788. My team will call you back Monday morning and help you get your first free phone call scheduled. Don't hesitate to do that. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Rethink Your Legacy. This is Francisco Servent. I am your attorney and problem solver at law. Good morning. These are just the most beautiful mornings in Arizona. I love it. I love it. I love it. My wife is freezing already, though, so there you go. Today we're kind of talking about, it's kind of weird to be talking so much about what would be, I guess, could be considered a competitor law firm, but I don't care. It's interesting. It's something I think is worth talking about. I think you guys are, it's good for you to learn this stuff. Like, what is the difference, right? And so we've been talking about LegalZoom, because they are now a official and actual law firm, not just a do-it-yourself website. Apparently, they have used a new rule in Arizona that allows anyone to form a law firm as long as you get it approved by the Supreme Court, and you can own a law firm. So all of you can own law firms. You just apply, and there you go. You can form it. And so LegalZoom did. We don't know what their intentions are. They haven't launched the marketing campaign. They haven't established the new website that says what they're gonna do. But I don't think we have to really look that far. I think all we have to do is look at the old model and say, there it is. I mean, that's kind of what they've been doing in a way. So yeah, I don't think we have to look that far. Because in all reality, they've had lawyers on their website for years. And it's like, click here to talk to a lawyer. Click here to chat with a lawyer. I mean, they've had that forever. What's going to be the difference? I don't think there's going to be any difference. So here we go, right? It's this new thing that I don't think is going to be new at all. So here's what I think. I think there are 14 major differences between LegalZoom and Keystone Law Firm. I started Keystone Law Firm separate from other law firms because there were three things that were just like strike one, strike two, strike three. I've talked about them before. And these things all still apply. I just don't think LegalZoom is going to be able to overcome them. Number one, no guidance, or okay, let's just use the word insufficient guidance from someone with experience. We've all done it. We've all done it. Like you either learn from experience or from someone who has experience. My grandpa Baker left us a book of his stories and wisdom, and he tells this giant long story, which is hilarious and great, but all I have time for is to read you this quote. I'd like to tell you about one of those happenings and trace the events leading up to it, events which dramatically and negatively shaped my life. Something terribly regrettable. But even now, with many years of added wisdom, I don't know how I could have prevented it or have done any different. I know we all look back at life and we have moments like that. Well, in this world, guidance from someone who's done it 1,000 times is going to make it simpler. Just hands down will. Number one, LegalZoom is not going to provide the guidance that really most people deserve. Number two, they totally ignore beneficiary designations. You do all the work on LegalZoom, and then there's no help designating the beneficiary in your life insurance, your IRA, your annuity, your house, your bank accounts. None. Zero. Nada. And that could trump everything. Number three, they totally ignore the what if backup plans. You know, like, well, what if the first trustee is not available that you picked? Did you name a backup and a backup? What if the first beneficiary isn't available? Or what if that one isn't there? What's the backup? Did you really understand what the backup was? How does it work? Zero guidance on that. No, that's number three. Number four, they don't have spendthrift language to protect your beneficiaries from creditors. I've seen plenty of their documents to know they don't have spendthrift language for your beneficiaries to be protected from creditors. Number five, they offer no planning to save taxes. You're just on your own on the whole tax issue. With this new tax reform that's coming up, it's going to be a massive thing that's going to affect everybody. It's going to affect people who have less more than it will affect people who have more. So people who have smaller estates will actually be affected more. Number six, they do not help you keep it all in the family. They do not shelter it from your in-laws, your children's spouses, your beneficiaries' in-laws. They do nothing to protect it from the in-laws. Number seven, they don't do anything to plan for your special needs children. I mean, who else should we be protecting other than the most vulnerable in our society, right? I mean, like, they don't plan for that. That's like the most basic form of malpractice. That part really bothers me. That's number seven. If you want my free guidebook that deals with all of this and all the secrets behind all this stuff, how to make sure your family's protected, go to the website right now, radio.keystonelawfirm.com. You know you have your phone in your hand, just pop over to Google, type radio.keystonelawfirm.com. Number eight. They do no asset protection at all for your surviving spouse or your kids. So you pass away under a LegalZoom plan, and plop, it gets taken in a lawsuit. It gets taken in a divorce. It gets taken by some new spouse that comes along. It gets taken by a bankruptcy. You know, I mean, there's no protections. Number eight is no asset protection for your family. Number nine, no planning options for blended families. I've talked about this so much on this show. If you are in a blended family, you have children from prior relationships, even if you've been together for 40 years, my heart goes out to the survivor of you two. I've had to counsel so many surviving spouses, you know, husbands, wives, through that. Something changes when the first spouse dies, and the survivor, I'm speaking to you, your stepchildren, something changes in that moment, and LegalZoom provides no planning or protection for that. Number 10, there's no multi-state snowbird options. How many snowbirds are here? You guys are all coming back, right? Welcome back. A lot of you don't come back till after Halloween, but for those of you who are here, good job. We welcome you back. And LegalZoom just has no multi-state snowbird options. So how do we deal with our property in both states? Well, we move back and forth 6 months here, 6 months there. Yep, sorry, LegalZoom doesn't help you figure that out. Number 11, they don't do trust funding. I'm a big fan of doing living trusts instead of just a will, even for people who feel like they've got no money, because it's no more expensive to do a trust than it is a will. Just, it's not. It's about the same price. But with a trust, your stuff stays private, your wishes are private, and you can avoid probate. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees if you don't avoid probate. All probates, I mean living probates and after-death probates. LegalZoom does nothing to help you fund your trust. Number 12, they don't help you sign your documents correctly. This is just a basic thing. Signing these documents is not like clicking through and signing things online electronically. You can't do it in Arizona. It's not just, let's just run down to the bank and notarize stuff. Nope. You got to have a lot more formality than that. LegalZoom doesn't help. Number 13, they don't help you update your documents proactively. They don't know how to, apparently. They don't know what you need to be thinking about. They don't reach out to you and say the law has changed on this issue. And that, does that affect you? They just don't do updates proactively. And about half of all litigation that my firm's department deals with has a will or trust at issue. It's just old and outdated. And then number 14 is that they offer a worthless guarantee. I mean, just a garbage guarantee that basically doesn't and won't ever apply to anybody. And then they call that their guarantee. So there's my 14 differences. There you go. Come back after the break. Before you go, though, I want you to jump over to the website and get my free. I'm not using their slogan, but it's free. My free Lawyer's Secret Guidebook to Estate Planning. Pop open that Google right now, type radio.keystonelawfirm.com, and enter your name and email so we can send it to you. Or you can send us a text. If you need help with any of this stuff, you just I just want to talk to someone, send us a text. Pop open your message on your phone right now and just send a text to 480-750-7788. Pretty simple. 480-750-7788. And you can even just say, help, I need help. And my team will, they'll text you back on Monday morning and say, well, how can we help? We'll be back after the break. I have a couple more stories I want to share with you guys about this LegalZoom stuff. All right, be back in a minute. Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. This is Francisco Servent, and you're listening to Rethink Your Legacy. I'm an estate planning and asset protection attorney in Chandler, Arizona, out of a boutique firm called Keystone Law Firm. And if you need help with anything related to estate planning, asset protection, probate, if you're helping a loved one take care of their affairs, any of that kind of stuff, give us a call, 480-750-7788. You can call or text that number. My team will call you back Monday morning. Today I'm giving away my secret guidebook to estate planning, and you can go get that on the website. You just go to your Google thing on your phone, or you're on a computer, whatever, type radio.keystonelawfirm.com, and it'll take you right to it. Just enter your name and email. System will send it right to you. Save it for later. This thing, I'm gonna bullet point some of the content so you know what's in there. I was just chuckling right before right during the break because I was reading this review on LegalZoom, and this guy Mark, terrible customer service. Recording on phone has been saying call volume is up for 2 weeks. I was informed wait time would be 4 hours. Yes, hours. How is this acceptable to someone who paid hundreds of dollars a couple weeks ago and has been getting nothing but lip service for 2 weeks? Do your homework, folks. And then this is what got me laughing. Sometimes when you pay peanuts, you get monkeys to do the work. And I just, that just made me laugh. We all know you cannot avoid the truth of you get what you pay for. We all know that. I mean, that's, LegalZoom is now trying to form a law firm themselves. I don't think it's going to be anything different than what they've always done. If you go to their website, it says click here to talk to a lawyer, and then you pay some nominal fee, $40, $60, I can't remember what it is. And I'm thinking, gosh, what kind of lawyers are they? Like as a lawyer myself, they're not. They got to be splitting that fee somehow with LegalZoom, right? So they're getting literally peanuts to talk to people. What kind of lawyers are they hiring? I don't know. Anyway, I hope they're hiring good lawyers. I hope they start paying for good quality, high level advice, because it's just harmful if not. So you can go get some free stuff. This is what I want to show you, is what's on my website, the Secret Guidebook today, because you don't have to pay for this. This breaks it down into what I think is it's simple, consumable, broken down into chunks, so it's not all at once, easy to understand stuff. So here's go get it first. It would be nice for you to be looking at this while I'm describing it to you. So you go get it if you want right now, radio.keystonelawfirm.com. And I want to show you what's in here and a couple things about how to use this. I mean, it's a PDF, so it's not, I guess there's not a trick on how to use it. Just download it and read it. But there's basically 10 secrets in here that I've highlighted. And then I go into the details about, don't do this, make sure you do that, watch out for this. This is what can trip you up. So here's the 10 secrets, okay? Number 1, keeping control of your own healthcare decisions, right? Not letting a judge get to make your own medical decisions, that end of life decision. You don't want any judge involved in that. Number 2, who is going to have access to your medical records, right? In an emergency, you need to have somebody who can call the hospital and say, what room is mom or dad in? If they don't have that HIPAA release ahead of time, they're screwed, and you're screwed. They're going to have to go to court, spend $10,000 getting an emergency order to release that information. So that's secret number 2. Secret number 3, avoid nursing home bankruptcy. I mean, we get tons of calls, usually it's from an adult child in their 50s or 60s. It's like, oh my gosh, we're moving mom into a nursing home this weekend. It's going to be $6,000 a month. How in the world are we going to pay for this? They're going to be broke, in 6 months. It's going to bleed the estate. It's going to completely destroy, blah, blah, blah. And then mom calls because they got to place dad in, and mom's like, I'm going to end up broke after dad dies. He's going to bleed through all the money and then leave me broke. I'm going to have to move in with the kids. Yeah, that's secret number 4. Number 5 is a comprehensive wealth transfer plan and around a trust. What is a trust? A basic living trust, not any of the other 1,000 kinds of complicated, interesting trusts. What's a basic living trust? That's secret number 5. Secret number 6 is protect your adult children from themselves or their spouses. And how to do that? Don't ignore the fact that even us adult kids who otherwise are responsible, I mean, it just goes back to the yellow Hummer guy. I mean, he was a responsible dude in his, mid-60s, inherited a little bit of money from his mom and just went out, boom, bought a yellow Hummer. So, you can protect them from that. This is not their money. This is your money to bless them, not to spoil them. Secret number 7, preserve the tax deferral benefit of your retirement plans. So those retirement plans have a lot of taxes owed on them because you've been deferring the taxes. Don't get hosed with that 40% tax bill. Secret number 8 is how to transfer your values. We talk and talk and talk about the money. Well, what about the stuff that actually matters? Have you done anything about that? My grandpa did a fantastic job. He didn't even really make it about his values. He just wrote stories down. And, you just write a story. You say what lesson you learned. And you do that over and over and over about all the million challenges you've had in life. And you just pass on something worth way more than $100 million. That's where true value is. Secret number 9 is how to organize and consolidate your stuff. That's kind of a basic thing, but you need to know. Secret number 10 is how to maintain a estate plan for all your electronic assets. All right, so that's secret number 10. And then there's a bonus secret in there, which I'll let you discover when you download it. So go to radio.keystonelawfirm.com so you can get the lawyer's secret guidebook to estate planning. And there's a little more info in there about us and our firm and how to get in contact with us if you need to. But you can always just jot this number down right now. 480-750-7788. Call, text anytime, day or night. My team will follow up with you the next business day and figure out what's going on. We do offer a free first phone call appointment. So there's no catch, there's no pressure. My team will schedule that with you at a time that works, talk about what's going on, see what you need, and if it's a fit for us, if we're a fit for you, help you figure out what your next step is. And so don't hesitate. We're not a scary firm for our clients. If you need us to sue someone, though, we can be pretty scary and get some good results. Ha 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 ha. So anyway, jot that number down and save it. 480-750-7788. But I really want you to go to the website and get the free Lawyer's Secret Guidebook to Estate Planning at radio.keystonelawfirm.com. And the last thing that I want to do here on Sunday morning might be, I don't know, it might be the most important thing that we talk about all day. And if you're a churchgoer, it's kind of funny that I get to talk to you before you go to church. So here you go, right? You're going to, having listened to Francisco, now you can go to church. No, I encourage you every day to make a difference, make a small change in your life. So many of us we just blindly push through life. I want to encourage you guys today here. I do this sometimes on the show, to not trudge through your day like it's a routine. Open our eyes, look around us, appreciate what we have, value the people in our life, say you love them, say thank you. Let's go make a difference to them by doing these small things, all right? And one of those small things is get your estate in order. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a great Sunday.